Previously on Roleplay Radio.
Gary, I want you to steal something for me. In the cellar of the alchemy labs, there's a contraption, Gary. A contraption that scans an object from top to bottom and replicates it.
That sounds extremely cool. What do you want with it?
It doesn't belong to Strixhaven, it belongs to my father.
Listen, Lorene, this is going to be a lot of risk to me.
How's 2 gold?
That's double the amount of money I have right now.
Have you ever heard of the tale of Lilith?
Oh, well, yeah, of course I know. It's a classic.
I want to take this and put a liberal spin on it. Klaus, you're my person for this.
What about the books that have gone missing from the biblioplex? Or the disappearance of Dane Embram?
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I wanted to know whatever it was you and Professor Kant were talking about me regarding.
It is something Professor Kant wanted, not me. He is continuously insisting, even though he has an owl following him at all times. He does not understand that probation is... He's this close to being fired, mistake. And I don't want to get my best friend fired.
Wonderful, so if you tell me whatever it is, then he'll stop harassing you.
Mistake, I do not appreciate the pushing. There are some things that students should not get involved in because it is very dangerous.
Oh, you mean like the numerous pieces of furniture that have already tried to kill me?
There are worse things than furniture, mistake.
Sure.
Many worse things. So, the next time you have history of magic, let's just say for the session's sake, the 5 of you are sitting together this time. Normally, Professor Mirsha is happy to walk near a mistake and give some head nods and try to nudge you to raise your hand, but this time he doesn't. He does not pay attention to you. He tries very hard not to make eye contact with you. In fact, that translates to the whole group. If you're all sitting together, he tries to stay as far away from you as possible. And during his lecture, he's talking still about the dawning age, but he starts making weird connections. He starts talking about the first humanoids to walk Arcadios were very primal. They did not know right from left. They did not know math. They did not understand many things, including the snarls. And many of them died because they would touch the snarl without knowing what they were getting themselves into. And because they did not know what they were getting themselves into, they died. And this feels like a stone thrown at your direction. The lesson of today is, do not make the same mistakes as your ancestors. There are dark things in the world that you do not want to get involved in. That is true for you as true as it is for me.
Shelly's gonna raise their hand.
Yes.
Sorry, are you saying to avoid anyone who snarls? And they're gonna look at Griff.
If they snarl at you, then maybe yes.
What if they snarl at someone else in front of you?
It depends on what caused the snarl. Is this related to the lesson in any way?
I'm a little confused. You're saying that our ancestors died because of snarling?
The snarls are the magical phenomena like the one in the Hall of Oracles. The snarls.
Oh, the glowing ball?
Exactly.
They touched those?
Yeah.
Wow. That was the first thing I learned.
Exactly. And it is as true today as it was back in the day.
Okay, so to be clear, snarling people may or may not be good. Snarls, though, are always bad.
Shelly, did you sleep last night?
Shelly's gonna whisper real quick.
I can't sleep.
Anyway, we have 5 minutes left, so if there's anything I want you to take away from today, it is that before you go in... And then he stops mid-sentence. As a clockwork owl appears at the window to the lecture hall. And he stares right at it. And Lalo the monkey stops writing on the board mid-sentence and looks over, runs over to Professor Mirsha, climbs up his leg and into his shoulder. I'm sorry, class is dismissed early. Goodbye.
So I rolled a personal insight to pick up on all of these hints that he's been dropping. Do I get a 17 total?
Okay.
Can I extend that to this owl scenario?
So it's difficult because I don't think Mistake would have told.
Nope.
Yeah, about that conversation they had. I do think you would sense that there's a double meaning here, and he definitely seems concerned about something.
I mean, could I sense that it's directed towards Mistake?
You get the sense that it's directed at this group because he's not making eye contact with you at all, and it's making eye contact with everybody else.
Shelly's gonna go up to the professor.
He's still staring at the owl, who is watching him from this window.
Shelly's gonna look that way. Does Shelly see the owl? Shelly's gonna say to the professor, "You know, I can take the owl away if you want."
You would get suspended, Shelly Shell.
But I'm friends with the captain now.
I assure you, you are not. Even if she made you think that you are.
Oh,
Is the window open or is it
It's open.
closed? Okay. I want to make a spitball.
Okay.
And then I would like to use magical tinkering to make my spitball make noise. Alright, that's a 13 to hit the owl with the spitball.
That does not hit.
Alright, in which case Gary just spends whatever's going on now trying to like scale up the wall to get his spitball that's making noise down because he can't shut it up unless he touches it.
You come face to face with this clockwork owl who stops staring at Professor Mirsha and just looks over at you.
Hi. Don't mind me.
Be careful up there.
The owl flies into the room now and stops at Professor Mirsha's desk, and the professor just follows it with a glare.
Should we go?
Mistake is already gone.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for class.
You're welcome, Cos. Did you need anything else?
oh, should my friend Griff stop snarling?
Jesus Christ. Thank you. We should go. We're going.
I think you misunderstood the entire lesson, Shelly Shell.
I haven't slept in like a few days.
I can tell.
Griff just grabs the tortoise.
Shelly's gonna go to Griff. You wanna go hang out with Xanther and Tobias?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go hang out with them.
Great. Bye.
Shelly's gonna give Griff a hug.
Is Mistake holding a grudge against the professor?
No, but she feels like a failure.
Kostu's gonna try to catch up with Mistake.
Okay.
Just kind of call out. Mistake, can you hold up a second?
Yeah, she'll stop and wait.
Hi. So we were talking about doing some, fencing practice, and I was wondering when you wanted to do that.
Whenever. My work schedule's pretty flexible, so.
I think I have a free period on 4th day afternoon.
Yeah, that works.
But I also wanted to ask you for another bit of help. I've been helping out with Spas, and Professor Zaphai wants me to help him to revamp the Lilith myth, and I was realizing that I'm more of like a songwriter than a writer, and I realized that you really like books. So, do you think you could help me with the writing part?
I can try. I've never written a book, though.
It can't be that much more difficult than reading one, right?
You know, we can find out.
I would like to skip ahead to the end of the week. Whether you went back to the tavern or not, Garrett had his shift at the tavern. It went very well again. You might be a bit nervous. I don't know how you feel about continuing to work at the Bozen after what happened.
I feel quite nervous.
You feel quite nervous, and yet the crowds keep coming back, despite the brawl. So it must be your food that's doing it. It's so crowded that Javanesh enhanced security, and he recruited some people. And at one point he comes into the kitchen and he says, "Hey kid."
You're only 1 year older than me.
Yeah, we've been through this. You look like a baby to me. Listen, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the free food I've been getting from you. Technically, Tolk don't allow it. I have to pay for it, but I appreciate you anyway.
I'm not gonna get in trouble, am I?
No. Don't be silly. Hey, listen.
Ow.
But that was just a baby tap. Did that hurt?
Yeah, ow!
Wow. Whew. You know, I'm even more glad I'm saying this to you now. If anyone picks on you, kid, you let Javanesh know. Alright? You're not only one hell of a cook, you're a hell of an ass kicker. Okay? And I appreciate an ass kicker when I see one.
Thanks? Nope, no one's picking on me, so we're good.
Well, if they do, you just let Javanesh know, alright? Think of this as my boon to you. Anyone picks on you, I got your back, kid.
I mean, do you know, there's a Lexodon named
one?
Rampart?
The rich boy.
I assume so. He particularly likes to blow smoke into my face. Kind of an asshole.
That's really rude. Do you smoke?
No.
That's even ruder.
Would it be less rude if I smoked
At
and
least
he
if
blew...
you smoked, you know, you kind of get a second-hand hit, you know, it's kind of alright.
No, he just makes me cough a lot.
What tower is he in?
The Golwanda Tower?
Goldwand.
Golwanda.
Historical figure, kid, you should know that name.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
One of my history of magic lessons, I was working on something else.
It's fine. I'll have a talk with the guy.
That really doesn't seem like it's going to help.
Alright, I won't go have a talk with the guy.
Just maybe, you know, don't let him in here. That'd be great.
You got it, kid. And he pulls out a blacklist and he adds Rampart Suvish to the name. It's like, won't be hearing from him around the Bozen Tavern.
Can I say that every night this week, Shelley has taken Tobias and Xanther to the Bozen Tavern just to study?
Sure.
Cool. That's all I want.
I think Mistake has tried to figure out Gary's work schedule, and coincidentally happens to be at the tavern when Gary is working.
Ooh. So, the book says the Bozen Tavern closes at 2 a.m. on weekends. Is anybody awake at 2 in the morning?
Shelley is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Koss is going to Shelley's room with a thing of chamomile tea and lute in hand and like cozy blankets with the determination to help Shelley sleep.
You come and you see Tobias with me, and we're...
Hey! It's our friend!
Have you come to spend the night?
It's our gender neutral friend. I love you.
Is Tobias from?
Yes.
Tobias, I'm gender neutral too, you know?
Shelley, I am staging a one-person intervention. I'm going to help you to get a good night's sleep because you have not slept for the last 5 days at my count.
But it's a Friday tradition to stay up all night with Tobias.
And Shelley's father is in jail.
Right.
I wouldn't sleep if my dad was in jail.
I know, but...
He's dead now. But, you know, if he was alive...
Koss, why don't you just play games with us? We've been trying to get you to play games with us.
We've been trying, Koss. Do you not like us, Koss?
Tobias, it's okay.
I can sense a guilt trip.
Tobias, we don't like that here.
No.
This is
Sorry.
a positive community.
Alright,
Sorry. I'm gonna go get some more scones.
So Koss, like, takes a cup off of the tea tray that they've brought up here and starts pouring a chamomile and says, "Here, drink some of this. It'll help you to relax a bit more. Cheers."
Sure, you want to spike it? No. Shelley reaches out for some liquor.
No, that's quite all right.
Okay. Shelley pours it into their own. And and it goes, cheers!
And then Koss, like, watches as Shelley drinks the tea, and they will say, "You know, Shelley, I actually had a song prepared for just this occasion."
You had a song prepared for giving me tea?
For us hanging out.
Oh, does that mean
Late
you're
at
staying the night?
Yeah.
Exciting!
And Koss will take out their lute. Go to bed, rest your head. You can get off to sleep. Don't you worry about your parents. There is no need to weep. You should go into your shell. Tomorrow everything's gonna turn out well. Long as you rest up, you'll be okay. So tomorrow's a new day. And they will cast sleep.
Meanwhile, Griff, you get a tap on your window. I don't know what you would be doing at 2 a.m., but you said you'd be awake.
Peeing.
You're-
Nothing spectacular. He got up. He had to pee.
And when you get out of the bathroom, the tap on the window throws you off.
He ignores it at first.
The tap gets louder, and you hear,
Well, he knows what a monkey sounds like when he hears a monkey.
and there's Lalo waving at you from the window, and points down, and then keeps climbing.
What? No, look down.
There's nothing there. He keeps climbing up. Mistake. You get a knock on your window.
Mistake is wide awake, but the room is just completely dark. Just kind of stares at the monkey.
He slips a note in between the windowsill.
Take the note.
It says, "Open the door, please." And he keeps climbing up to the top floor, where you see this.
At which point, Costa like sees the monkey and is just like, point, death stare. Don't you dare.
So I almost want to say that, like, you know, Lalo points down, and then you're like, thank goodness I stopped him, and you try to leave, and then the wood squeaks beneath you, and that's what wakes up Shelly.
Shelly's just like, that was a beautiful song.
I'm glad you liked it. There's a monkey.
Is it the professor's monkey?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god. Shelly's gonna open the window.
Before Mistake leaves, she wants to look out for owls, like peek out the window and look around.
Perception check?
Not very good at these. It's a 9 + 1, I think, so 10.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You do see the Dragon's Guard. They've enhanced security around the student towers ever since the couple of encounters, so you see them, but nothing else.
Shelly's gonna jump out the window. Casting jump. Shelly has a slot. So.
Okay. Costa's gonna go downstairs then.
Okay.
Shelly's gonna open the door for the monkey.
I mean, Mistake probably would already be downstairs to open the door.
Okay. Well, Shelly will find the door already open then.
Like, you're about to open the door and the Mistake opens it. It's Shelly.
Hi, Mistake. I've been looking for you.
I've been in my room.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Shelly, you feel two heavy hands on your shoulders pushing you forward.
Shelly's like 500 pounds.
They're pushing you forward.
Okay, well, I mean, Shelly's just gonna be like, in we go.
And the door closes. And Lalo's inside now, but you only see Lalo, Shelly, and Mistake when everybody else comes down.
Costa's carrying a tray full of tea.
After about 30 seconds, the spell fades. Standing in your common room, not only Professor Mirsha, but Professor Quintorius Khan too. The first thing they do is they immediately run to the windows. Okay, we have precious little time. I'll say so. Are these all of them? I don't know.
My friend Tobias is upstairs.
This is the F squad though.
You are the 5 that have been fighting these things?
Unfortunately.
Shelly takes out the warhammer.
Put that away. Like I said, we have precious little time. We were able to get away from the owls for now, but eventually they will catch on to the fact that we are not just using the restroom. And then Quintorius is keeping an eye on the window, just like, make it quick, Mirsha. And Professor Mirsha starts pacing. He looks very stressed. Okay, where to start? Mistake. He walks right up to you.
Was like hiding in the back somewhere.
He will walk right up to you. Places a hand on your shoulder, then realizes that's a bit awkward, and removes it. I owe you an apology. I was out of line. I was a bit heated, and I apologize. The rest of you, please have a seat. What you are about to hear might be a bit difficult, but please understand that whatever happens in this room in the next 10 minutes stays in this room. He starts pacing as Professor Quintorius is like, pick up the pace, Mirsha. Okay. As you all might have seen or read about by now, Professor Khan and I are on probation, yes? Madame Dapplewing is keeping a close watch on us for our behavior. You are not crazy to suspect that these incidents are not just coincidences or mishaps, that there is something deeper going on here. He looks right at Mistake for a moment. Have you told them about your research?
Yes.
Good. So you all have heard about the Auric. I'm sorry, this is going to be a lot of information very quickly because we have precious little time. So, please bear with me. They are not just spies. The Auric are assassins, infiltrators, radicals who wish to bring the world back to chaos, okay?
Oh, the whole world. I only read they wanted to destroy the school.
They do. And in so doing, they want to bring Arcavios back to the way it was in the Blood Wars. You see, they believe that magic should not be institutionalized. They believe that it should be allowed to run rampant and free, allowed for those with enough power to reign supreme. No more elections, no more committees, just the powerful ruling over the weak. They call it their destiny. I apologize for the extra history lesson, but since the end of the Blood Wars, they have been active. I have done my research, Quintorius has done his research. It is a fact at this point, except many people do not accept facts because it does not match their ideals or their idea of peace and progress. They wish to turn the other way and pretend nothing is happening, but it is happening. Those who lost the battle did not just surrender and go away. They banded together and continued the war, only more silently, for 700 years. Madame Dapplewing calls us conspiracists. But it is no longer a conspiracy. You've seen it for yourselves. Tell me, look at me. You've seen it, right? Dapplewing does not believe us, okay? She does not know what we have seen. Every time we propose a plan to fight back, she belittles us.
If she doesn't believe you, why'd she arrest my dad? I just don't get it.
Captain Dapplewing says it's better not to rock the boat, but the boat has already been rocked. She wants to save face, and she thinks that by protecting your father, she will keep the Auric out. But they will not stop with your father, Shelley. They will find someone else to target, and they will use them instead. Teacher, student, at this point, who knows who might be corrupted? And then you hear Professor Khan be like, she's a spineless woman. That's what she is. She's spineless. You know what she's doing? Old friend, No! I will no longer keep quiet, Mirsha. Do you not realize what's happening, students? She's grooming you. I heard it from her lips myself. She does not want to protect you. She is trying to train you to be her army. I think she's sicking these things on you to find out who's strong and who's not. And whoever is strong, she will use you to fight back the Auric. That has not been proven.
No, that's definitely not what she's doing. She's more interested in keeping power for herself.
And what'd you say that?
She's a human in power.
And?
And a human in power wants to stay in power.
Exactly. A human in power needs allies, needs an army. She is grooming students, training them to be warriors, not to be students, not to be scholars, not to be teachers, but to be pawns in her little war against the Auric.
If she was trying to raise an army, she'd use the Dragon's Guard. She already has that force. There's no reason for her to attack her students. If anything, that just erodes her power because it makes her look incompetent for not being able to keep the school safe.
Professor Mirsha smiles and says, you see, old friend, she's smarter than you think she is. Well, unless I'm proven wrong, I still suspect that woman. Mistake. The real reason we are here is because, well, there is one person who might have an answer to all of this. One person who might have discovered the Auric's secret. That is, how are the Auric getting into campus? Like you said, the Dragon's Guard are there to protect the campus. They do a hell of a job at it, believe it or not. If anybody got into the campus, they would know. So how are they getting in?
Gary asked the same question. If a lot of the Orc are dropouts, how are they posing as students?
One person had a theory.
Who is it?
If you say it's Rose, I swear I'm going to throw something.
Rosie?
No, never mind.
The student that touched Snarl.
Oh, she died like 200 years ago.
Yes, but apparently, I don't know, I've heard her name like 12 times since I've been here.
Well, that's
Very
because-
mysterious.
That's because she's very talented.
Something about books, something about, the books might still be around, you could be sucked into one.
Mistake, you are too smart for your own good, you know that? I was not here to speak about Rose. However, there is a connection here.
See? I knew it.
Who's Rose?
We'll get back to that.
Rose was a student who lived here 200 years ago. She was sick. And she was... Do any of you have Professor Julian Valentin for a class?
Us too.
He's cute.
I suppose he is very handsome. He was the only person who took Rose under his wing, and I think if you want to know more, you should ask him. But, back to you. Rose was a very talented student, and she did discover a spell to enchant books to be able to go into them. A friend of ours tried to dissect that spell. A friend of ours who has been missing since last year.
Right.
Went into his office,
Dean
was
who's-
never seen
yeah.
from again. The captain is trying to keep this quiet, but mistake, we met in Redfell, yes? Do you know why I was in Redfell?
No.
It is because I had to travel overseas. There was a library that holds a very special book that not even Strixhaven has. I went to look for this book, but it was not there. Instead, there was a fake copy of the book. And do you know the last person who checked it out?
The person who's now disappeared.
Dean Imbran. I think he discovered the secret. And I think that he's in that book.
I knew it! He was in his office!
You'd think someone would have been able to find the book if they searched his office.
They did. Captain Dapplewing has an attic where she keeps all kinds of...
Oh, is this the attic where she apparently puts problem students as well?
That's a myth. She does not do that.
Oh,
Darn, that was going to be a really easy way in.
I was going to say the same thing.
I'll get there. I work for her now.
This is the exact reason why I knew the five of you were the five person to come talk to. Meanwhile, are you asleep over there?
I just woke up to pee and we're all talking about big things. I'm just waiting to hear the next steps.
I
Great.
think the next steps I'll break into Captain Bitchy Face's attic.
Do we have to do that now or can we go to bed first?
No. Now is a terrible time.
We
Great.
need to figure out what to do with our owls.
When's a
first.
good time?
In a couple of weeks' time, you will have your first exam. Now, I trust that you need to study for that because school is important, okay? So this has nothing to do with school. This school is priority, and then this. After the first exam, Captain Dapplewing goes on conference yearly to connect with representatives and administrators and captains from other schools in Arcavios and of the multiverse. That is the pristine moment, because the manor will be nearly empty save for the Earl. That is when we must infiltrate. Now by we, I of course am asking something very big of you. Quint and I are under probation. We cannot get away from those damn owls. You don't have to do this, but if you were to agree, Quint and I have some money that we can give to you as a way to help you with your living expenses, you know. I was a struggling student too. Again, this is a lot to ask of you, and I'm asking you to conspirate with us.
I'll
but-
do it. Wait.
You're asking me to steal a book.
Yes.
How much
That
money?
is incredibly hilarious.
He's smiling very broadly.
Yeah, how much money? I mean, I'll probably do it, but
Can I quit my job? Because I didn't want to work there.
No, we are not rich by any means.
Okay.
We will happily pay for your cost of living for at least a month.
Okay.
I have one question before we say yes.
Yeah.
You did mention that we have exams to study for and, extracurriculars and other such things.
Yeah.
Does this count as a liberal arts credit? So that, we can maybe not have to take as many classes?
I don't think this is something that would go in the books, Goss.
Can it be something else?
I cannot get it. No.
Acquisitions?
An internship.
Yeah.
A work study. I don't know, I think the owls would notice you weren't there.
Yeah, I suppose so. All in favor say F, squad?
I don't need money.
I know you don't.
Can I have your share?
What do you wish in return, Griffin Burninghammer?
I'm sure you want to just piss off the captain.
Information about my family.
Can't you just ask your father?
Rather than go into a long, prosaic thing about it, he tells him about, wanting the information about his uncle.
Oh. Well, that is a whole other kind of forums that I do not have time to open right now.
I'm not asking you to open the can now, but I'm asking you to tell me that you will open it.
I will leave the can. Lalo will leave the can in your room after the job is done. Deal?
Deal.
Now, this book, it may or may not be there, but it is our best hypothesis. Dean Imbram he went to school with us, he is a big friend, and Captain Dapplewing is pretending like he just died overseas. That is not what happened. If he was sucked into that book, then he's still in there.
Mistake is deeply amused.
Before Professor Mirsha leaves, he will try to pull you to the side and say, I'm sorry for my behavior before. You understand that I was walking a tightrope, and then Captain Dapplewing pushed me off the edge with that owl.
It's a bit ironic.
Why?
Had Dapplewing not decided to put you on probation, then she wouldn't be short one book in a few weeks.
I have full trust in you and your F squad
Apparently.
to pull this off. Quint and I will, of course, keep the Dragon's Guard away from the manor as much as we can. But as soon as you get in, that is on you.
Usually pretty good at that part.
And the two professors address you before leaving, the five of you. Well, I do hope you all know that by doing this, we are all committing treason against the school. Is that okay with you?
I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. But, you said it's for a good cause, so...
There is a friend who needs our help, and we are not at liberty to provide that help, hence why we are recruiting.
I'm not worried. If something goes wrong, I can just say it was my fault and no one else has to do anything.
The last time you did that, your parents were arrested.
Oh, fuck. Fine, I'll just say it was your fault then.
I guess if it comes down to it, we might take the fall, but we will do whatever we can so that it doesn't come to that.
Okay. But if anybody asks me, I did not hear that I'm committing treason.
Perfect.
Can I go back to bed?
You can go back to bed.
Thank you.
Class dismissed.
A slightly shiny, bold text of F Squads appears in front of Griff as he walks past it. Cause Cat's minor illusion.
He pushes through it like saloon doors.
Yep. Swings open.
So, Gary will be spending a lot of his time when he's not working, studying at the Biblioplex because he didn't buy any books.
When you go and get the books that you need, they are not on the shelf. They are in the scriptoria. So you head down there and you look for these books and you hear humming in the distance very low, rumbly humming, like, and you smell pipe smoke.
Does it sound like Rampart?
Yes, it does.
Gary's gonna look around for legit anyone else who's not Rampart.
I mean, there's certainly students around. Everybody's kind of studying for their exams or doing homework.
Mistake might also be there, since not only does she study there, but she also works there.
The funny thing you notice is that the books that you need are in Rampart's table.
No.
Like, he's reading one of them, and then the others are on the table, and he's got his boots on the table on top of the books.
A dick.
If he's super rich and from a meaningful family, why is he borrowing the books?
Frankly, my dear, because the book says so. Consider it his bane to you.
Excellent.
Okay. So, that first day that this happens, Gary's just like, well, like, I'm screwed. Finds just like a general corner where there's lots of clockwork servants and just takes a bunch of notes on them instead.
On the clockwork servants?
On the clockwork servants. Okay. On like how they work mechanically. Then he goes home and like preps to be able to like do a magical disguise self the next day. Okay. So then the next day he comes to the Biblioplex, cast disguise self to just make him look like another human student. He's gonna approach Rampart and just be like, hi.
He looks at you, doesn't bat an eye. Yes, can I help you?
I saw that you have some of the books for the required first year classes, and I was looking for a study buddy.
Huh. Well, he's looking around, he's like, I'm not actually studying, friend. I'm here because of one little pest who does not deserve these books. But, sure, have a seat. Sure. Your voice sounds very familiar. Do you talk much in class? 'Cause
I didn't think so. I'm goth.
Rampart Suvish. Pipe?
Sure.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I am bad at these. Oh, he did well!
Hey.
It's a 17.
Okay. I want to say, because it's Gary, maybe like your cheeks turn a little red from so much holding in, but you don't cough. There's no cough, and he respects it. Okay. He hands you the book, and you realize he had a magazine inside the book he was reading. He didn't even care about the book. Do you work in Strixhaven?
No, actually. In the Entrepreneurs Club and the Play Actors Guild.
Oh, not a man of taste that I can relate to, but that's fine. Well, I work. I'm junior cadet in Dragon's Guard.
Oh, that's very impressive.
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. And he shows off his medals of honor that he's won. It's like, I got in right away. Did not even have to job interview. In fact, Captain Dapplewing has really entrusted me with a lot of responsibility.
Really?
Yeah. You know those goons at Crooked Tower?
Oh, I hate those Crooked Tower people.
Yeah.
They really get my blood boiling.
Spineless. They staged a fight in their common room and then made up story about Trunk.
Oh, I read all about it in the Strixhaven Star. Are you sure it was staged? I thought it sounded legit to me.
Then why was there no sign of mimicry? They said mimic, but mimics have blood.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're smart. Maybe it wasn't a mimic, though. Maybe it was something else. I feel like they wouldn't have been smart enough to stage a fake fight.
Roll a performance.
Performance or deception?
Either.
They are the same. It doesn't matter. 18! 19!
Damn! You know, you have points. They are not very smart at all. Maybe what they're saying is true. Something did attack them. It's a bad thing. The thing that attacked them didn't hurt them more, huh? Am I right?
So is it one of those clock tower delinquents that you're keeping these books away from?
Yes, actually, yes. Very spineless little boy named Garrett Grieg.
Who has names that start with the same letter for their first name and last name, right?
No, only fools. And besides, he's always hanging around that burning hammer. I had my eye on that group. Something suspicious is happening, and I'm going to tell Captain Dapplewing what.
Right. So you sounds like you're really close with Captain Dapplewing then.
Oh, yes. In fact, she entrusted me to look after her mansion while she is away after exams.
Oh! Wow, that's a big responsibility.
I am entrusted to stay on guard at Manor to make sure that no delinquents get any funny ideas.
I'm sure that you'll do a really excellent job of it. Are you holding the front door?
Oh, yes.
One of the back doors?
No one sneaks in through back door.
Of course not, no.
That would be foolish.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. Hey, I need to go. If you see a spineless little boy with white hair like old man, you keep these books from him, you hear?
Sure. I mean, the only person with white hair that I've seen around is actually quite tall. But, you know, I'll keep the books away from him too.
He's not tall for me.
I want to say that the rest of the time, like, for studying for exams, Gary just keeps showing up as Garth to borrow these books.
And at some point during Rampart going on about how people at Crop Tower are terrible and Garth going on about how they're so stupid, there's just Mistake in the background of the shot, just shelving books, completely oblivious.
Griff, what are you up to?
Combination of janitorial duties and studying.
Okay. At some point after school, you're gonna knock on the door, and it's a very familiar knock. Not that many people knock on your door.
Hi, Thorn.
Greetings. You offered your corner if ever I needed it. May I?
Sure. Just let me move things.
And he moves everything out of the corner so he can be there.
Thorn crawls in and then hands you a little basket full of fresh fruit.
Ooh.
For sharing. And he sits down in a corner. Doesn't say anything for a good 5 minutes. He's meditating, as you've grown used to. I mean, this is what he does around the tower. Tonight, at some point, he begins the conversation the same way he often begins them, out of fucking nowhere. The two professors. What were they doing here?
They were talking about a book.
As professors do. Are they not on probation?
I frankly don't really know their status.
They wanted us to find a book for Dapplewing, from Dapplewing.
The captain?
One and only.
Sounds illegal.
This is probably more of a big no-no than something illegal.
I suppose there are worse things to steal than a book.
Sure. Plenty.
He's trying to go back and read as Thorn is, I'm imagining, taking long spaces in between replying.
Yeah. He also kind of drops in another conversation, but eventually he will kind of circle back. I will say nothing of what I heard.
What did you hear?
That this book has to do with someone who is missing. A rescue attempt of sorts. But who knows? Perhaps my ears may have fooled me.
Well, if they weren't fooling you, hypothetically, would this be something that you would be interested in helping?
I'm sorry, Griff. I do not get involved.
Well, all right.
But I do not need to get involved to help, as you say.
And as he's talking, his leafy, quote-unquote, hair begins to kind of rustle a little bit. And you start seeing splashes of color. And he says,
This will be a covert endeavor, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Thus, it is important that no one sees you, yes?
Yes.
I cannot help with that.
but, and he reaches into his hair and plucks out a little flower. He holds it like in front of his glowing green eyes and he says,
Have you ever been charmed by a memory spell?
No, I haven't.
How would you know?
I never have. Ever.
and he says,
Should you feed this to someone, they will forget anything that happened in the last hour. Any sights, any conversations, any conflict will be as if it had never happened. Consider this my boon to you.
Thank you.
Use wisely.
so what's Mistake up to?
Studying, working, fencing practice. She's also going to return the book that she's finished to Professor Gahlván, but she's not going to return it to him in person.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to just drop it off at his office. And she put just a blank piece of paper in one of the pages. Nothing written on it. To mark her favorite part because she didn't really have an answer for him previously.
Right.
Mistake also wants to talk to Koss, probably like after they were like practicing fencing or something, as Koss asked.
How do you keep it up? Wait, no. You know what I meant.
I'm used to running.
It's not like I don't work out, but I guess I don't work out.
I actually wanted to ask you something. You seemed a bit uncertain about our upcoming plans.
Which one? Oh, you mean the heist?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure you're not forcing yourself into doing it.
Oh.
Because you don't have to if you're really not okay with it.
I mean, it's fine, probably. I haven't been part of a heist before.
I imagine none of us have, so...
So it should be interesting and a learning experience nonetheless. I don't know, it's just... It seems like we could get in a lot of trouble for it.
We very much could, yes. I just wanted to make sure you didn't feel forced into it.
Oh, no, it'll be a good time.
You're more optimistic than I am.
Fine, it will be a bad time then.
Hopefully not, but it will definitely be.
It'll be a medium time.
Keep trying, I'm sure you'll get there.
So Koss is splitting their time between working on the play and studying, and as part of working on the play, they will also go up to Aurora's door. Hey, Aurora, are you in there?
Come in. You'll notice that she's gotten rid of her bed, and instead she just has a bar. So she's like stretching upside down. It's like, what?
Oh, this is fun. So I was hoping to get your assistance with something.
Okay.
I've been working with the Society for Performing Arts at Strixhaven, and the professor just saddled me with writing a play, which I've not done before, but in the moment I was like, oh, it would be fun if it were a musical, so I said, can we make it a musical? And now I'm saddled myself with writing a musical instead, and it's supposed to be a tragedy, and I'm realizing that I don't really know how to write a sad song. And I was hoping that you'd be able to help me with that part.
There's a hint of a smirk at the edge of her lips. So, your first job working under Professor Satiate is to do his job for him?
Yeah, I guess. I guess he's delegating.
I love Professor Satiate, and she just like drops down. She's, you know, we've had some really bad plays in the past. I mean, I'm talking failed on opening night. You know that. Don't let this make you nervous or anything. You're not nervous, are you?
I'm a little bit nervous. Is that wrong?
I mean, the worst that can happen is everyone hates the play, and then your name goes down in the history of Strixhaven as being one of the most worst playwrights that the school's ever seen. They'll probably put your name on a plaque somewhere.
Well, that sounds like a reason to be nervous, though.
I mean, if you care about that kind of stuff.
Do you not?
You know, like, nobody except for you guys talk to me, right? Because the whole thing.
Right, but, I mean, there's a professor who's a vampire, so clearly it's okay.
Only two types of people like Uncle Julian. Girls who swoon over him.
I know one of those.
And guys who want to be like him.
I know a couple of those.
So I wouldn't necessarily call him someone to look up to.
With that said, are you willing to help me out? Because I could use some other opinions. Mistake's also going to be helping with the story and the writing.
Well, I've only got a couple of reasons to live. She starts like cracking her neck. She's like, one of them's music, the other one's good food. So thank you for bringing one of them here. And she pulls out like her violin. She pulls out a harp. She just starts pulling out all sorts of instruments. Like, what did you bring?
I brought a lute.
Great, to start.
It's also true.
Okay, so
They haven't
what were the
stopped
5
me,
ages?
right.
3.
What were the 3 ages? How many ages were there? Let's start with that.
Shelley is able to name one of them.
I think Griff knows fucking everything.
Griff is just like Dawning Age, Blood Age, New Age. What's next?
Cos will take flashcards and hand them to Griff and be like, just quiz us, please.
Okay. And he's using puppets while doing this.
Gary's using the study session to fashion little puppets for Griff to use for his demonstration.
It's almost like a Prismari performance.
The puppets are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty decent puppets.
Every time we get to a historical figure, Cos is going to take on the appearance of that historical figure.
Yes.
You mean cosplay?
Yes. Exactly.
Still a 9.
Gary uses magical tinkering to make buzzers so that we can like do a quiz show.
But at some point during the study session, there's a knock on the door.
I'll open the door.
We all get up to open the door.
Mistake will probably
Okay,
try and like look through if there's a little seeing eye thingy.
So Mistake looks through the peephole.
Yeah.
You see turquoise hair.
Yep, Mistake opens the door.
She's about to like knock. Your face just comes face to face with a fist. You're just like,
Oh,
hello.
Oh, hi, Lorraine.
Is Gary home?
Hi, Lorene.
Hi. Talk outside?
Sure?
And Lorene's just staring at Mistake, glaring at her the entire time.
Mistake stares back and kind of subconsciously thaumaturgies and eyes turn from silver to black.
Oh, that's creepy. I was about to say Constitution check to see who breaks eye contact first, but I think she'll do it with disadvantage because that's creepy.
That's a nat 1.
Whoa.
So
Which actually is completely in character.
your eyes turn black, and Lorene does not bat an eye. As Gary's heading out, you just hear Lorene saying, "Does your tail always do that?"
I don't think Mistake's going to answer.
Hey,
You don't need to act so rude.
well, that's fair.
I know it is. Alright, you're here for the mimeograph, right?
It's been several days, Gary. You promised. You know, when you make a promise to a friend, you should keep that promise.
I got it. I just didn't bring it to you yet. I have work and studying.
Alright. Let's see it.
Alright, it's upstairs. I'd invite you in, but honestly, I don't think my housemates like you very much.
Well, I don't like them either.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Fine. I'll wait out here.
Yep.
Mistake tried to snoop. From, like, inside, just kind of, like, peering out the window.
Okay.
So Gary goes upstairs, gets the mimeograph, and then comes back down. He probably brings it in a bag. So as to not, like, bring up questions.
A grocery bag or something?
He's gonna tote, you know?
Shelley's gonna be like, "What's in the bag, Gary?"
Oh, it's Lorene's.
Oh.
Right, sorry it took so long. I kind of just forgot.
She takes it, she snatches it, and she looks inside. Her breathing picks up, and she's just like, oh, it's real. Father's device is real. And in the backdrop, you can see, in fact, you hear like some laughter. And it's Louie and Timothy, and they're like waving at you from afar. They're just like sitting on the fountain in the middle of the courtyard. Hi, Gary!
Gary waves back.
Was it hard to get?
No, but it was a weird experience. I'm sure you heard the rumor about Nev walking around
That's
alone.
crazy.
Yeah, that was me.
She just loses it, and I can't do the laugh, but I imagine her having a very high-pitched, like, hysterical laugh, and she goes in for a hug, unless you back away.
No, I mean, I'll hug her.
She, like, throws her arms around you, and she says, "This is gonna save my family." I don't know what to say, but, and she slips 3 gold into your pocket instead of 2.
Gary's gonna awkwardly, like, pat her on the head, because he's a lot taller, and then just be like, maybe just, you know, work on the racism a bit.
She backs away then, she's like, "Carrie, have you ever been stolen from?"
I mean, we already talked about this, Lorene. Just because some, like, person of a certain race stole from your family doesn't mean that all people of that race will do that.
Okay, but did you ask her?
No! And I'm not going to!
Okay. If you need anything from me, I will return any favor you want. But I can't say the same for your friends.
Okay, well, the favor I would like is for you to be nicer to them, so, you know, call us at an impasse.
She starts walking away, and then she looks over her shoulder, she's like, I'll try, okay?
Good morning, first years. This is the Earl speaking. Congratulations on completing your first round of exams. As you enjoy a moment of respite, remember to hydrate and get plenty of rest. A reminder that our biblioplex will no longer be open 24 hours for your convenience. Captain Dapplewing sends her regards and wishes you a lovely end of the week. As a token of her appreciation, each student may visit the Firejolt Cafe to receive a complimentary small coffee and a pastry of their choice at half price. And now, to lift your spirits, I leave you with a bit of humor that I recently learned from one of my clockwork brothers. What do you call a feline who passes their exam without studying? A cheetah. Ta. End of announcement.
Aurora Laura's room is closer to Mistake's, so Mistake's going to go there first. She just has the blanket, like, wrapped over her head, like, the little horns kind of poking up. It probably almost looks like cat ears. She's just gonna knock on Aurora's door.
You hear a very nice, somber violin playing, and the moment you knock, it squeaks. Who is it?
Mistake?
Come in. It's super dark. She's got no candles, no lanterns, nothing. It's
Mistake
just
is dark vision. Does not care. She's just gonna shuffle in, turn around, shut the door, turn back around, and then just lean against the door and sit on the ground.
You okay?
I thought I'd go where there was music and your room was closer than Cos's.
Nothing soothes the soul like music, right?
Something like that.
What's wrong?
I don't like tests. I've decided they're terrible.
She stops playing violin. Yeah. I mean, they don't really measure intelligence, do they? They just measure how much shit you can cram into your head and memorize it in a short amount of time.
Something like that.
Which one did you fail?
The history one. I thought I'd do better on that one. I typically like history. Nope, just stared at the test and forgot everything.
Sorry to hear that. I also failed that one. I love nature, but it turns out I don't give two shits about history.
That's fair, I suppose. It's not... I mean, nature, you can interact with it, but history, it just sort of is, or was.
And more often than not, it is more than once because people are stupid.
Not too.
Hey, don't beat yourself up about it. It's just a stupid test. You know what, in the end, who cares? Right?
I do.
Why?
No, this is my only chance.
At what?
Being something other than what everyone else is.
I guess I'm spoiled. My Uncle Julian made sure I got in. So, you know, for me, this is like, I don't know, I didn't really want to be here, but here I am, and ever since my mom died, he thinks he can look after me, and you know what? He doesn't know a thing about me. He's out there pretending to mold young minds when really he just wants to show off because he's dead inside. And here I am. I just want to be a musician, and he didn't like that, so he brought me here. Said that my mom would have wanted it. Well, he didn't know shit about my mom, okay? My mom was killed for lying with a vampire. Apparently it's not a good thing where I come from. Anyway.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks.
Did you know her well?
No, I was a baby. And my father? Vanished. Uncle Julian says he might be dead. So he's the closest I have to a guardian.
Well, I don't really have parents either, so...
Oh. Well, that explains why I like you.
You might be the minority on that one.
Do you wanna, like, go downstairs or something?
I suppose. I don't think I've had anything to drink in about 18 hours. And I should probably have some water.
If my sense of smell doesn't fail me, I think your friend upstairs might have something better than water.
Better is debatable. I'm pretty sure someone just passed out.
Let's knock anyway. And she turns into a bat and flies out of her room.
Oh, it's so popular here tonight. I'm so happy. I've been wanting for this to happen for so long. And Shelley opens the door.
Mistake! With, like, the blanket no longer over her head because she kind of ran up the stairs, but Her hair's like tangled around her horns. She's just looking miserable.
What's wrong?
I followed a bat here.
Oh!
We could use a drink. Could you help us out?
Nat 20. Shelly goes behind their back and procures, as if by magic, 2 glasses of the
Of the hooch.
and says, "Oh, fancy that! I happen to have exactly what you need."
Why don't we make it a party and we go get your other 2 friends?
Yeah, let's do that then. Yeah.
So Aurora flies out as a bat and goes and gets Koss. What are you doing?
Probably working more on the play now that we don't have to worry about the test so much.
Do you ever stop working?
Well, yeah, sometimes, but I've got inspiration right now, so I don't want to.
Why don't you bring all that with you?
Okay.
I have some liquid inspiration upstairs.
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing?
Making mechanical strengthening armor. Look, if you turn this gear here, you can essentially lock it all in place, and then if you turn this one here, you can make it essentially move. It's kind of like the Clockwork Servants. You see how it has almost a skeleton that fits my skeleton. You don't look very interested. I'll stop talking now.
No. I just had a thought. You know, some people say that you don't have that many friends except for Koss, so you started making your own friends. It's a rumor. I don't know who started it.
You started! I've never heard this rumor.
It's so funny.
I'm just saying what I've heard.
Okay, it just seriously sounds like you started this rumor, Aurora.
I'm just fucking with you, Garrett. Come on. It's cool. It's cool shit. Alright? Stop looking so constipated. It's fine.
Okay.
What does it do? Show me. She starts, like, looking right at you. Leans in.
So this part attaches, do you want to try it? Or should I just demonstrate?
I dabble.
So this part attaches to your arm, and then this part attaches to your upper arm, and then it goes around your back and attaches the same way on the other side.
Oh my.
And then I'll let you do these parts yourself.
No, do them. What's wrong with you?
No, the clasps can be a little tricky. So these go around your upper thigh and then around your calf. And so you see that controller that's in your left hand there. Sorry, I'm left-handed. Most people aren't. So that controls how it works. So you can get it to stay stiff in one position.
Stiff, huh?
Oh boy.
Or you can get it to, be able to lift a heavy load.
Roll for boner.
I think she's pretty amused. The gang and I are having some drinks upstairs in the 10th floor. You wanna come?
The gang?
Well, the F squad.
Oh, right, okay. Sure.
So congrats everybody on getting through exams. I know it was difficult for some.
Here's to 2 fucking more.
Hell yeah!
And the cheers, you see like a really large tankard come in, and that's Griff. He's awake, but substantially more.
Oh, you're awake, Griff.
Yeah, boot and rally.
Guys, we're all going to Griff's house soon.
Oh, did you actually agree?
We're all going to break shit.
Don't tell them that. They might not want to come.
I didn't know about that part, but I will come anyways.
I'm particularly skilled at breaking shit.
You will be our greatest weapon.
Is he okay?
He's had like 7 drinks already, and I don't even know how many are in that one that he has there. I don't even know where he got that from.
Oh, yep, that makes sense.
Eventually, Aurora will look at the time and say, "Oh, Uncle Julian should wake up soon, and he asked me to meet him. Sorry I can't party further." And she turns into a bat and flies away. And the 5 of you are left alone in Shelley's room.
I should probably go as well.
Wait, but we have to. The thing is happening this weekend. Are we doing the thing or not?
Alright, this is all very cryptic. So
Shelley closes the window and the door and says, yes, the heist.
Right. So Rampart is apparently watching the front of Dapplewing Manor and no one's watching the back? I don't know. That's odd to me, but it seems like we have a fairly obvious entrance.
There are also trees outside. You can climb those to get into any window.
I've got some forget-me-not charm stuff. Sneak it into their drink and they'll forget what happened in the last hour.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't
How
have
much have
flowers.
you had to drink?
So I can put somebody to sleep. If we run into guards or something, I can maybe try, knocking them out so that they just fall asleep so we can sneak past them. Otherwise, I guess I can, pretend I'm somebody else for a bit.
I mean, I can see tomorrow if I'm assigned to guard the captain's place. And if I'm not, I can try and be.
Can we get acid? So we don't have to deal with the lock.
I can make acid.
There we go. And we'll have to deal with Earl.
I might know the Earl's schedule.
There you go.
I say hi to him every morning when I go to work.
So, if we know his schedule...
He's quite nice.
Then, assuming he works like clockwork, we can avoid him. I don't like going in
Or
through
we
the
can
cellar
say
if we
hi
have to
to
go
him.
to the attic. We don't actually want to be seen, Shelley.
But Earl's okay.
Right, but Earl works for the person we're stealing from. The owls can hear very well, but they can't see anything.
So as long as we're quiet, then it's all good.
Or if we distract, cause a sound somewhere, make the owl go to that. We may have to deal with Rampart, but if he's by the front door, we might be able to avoid him entirely.
I can make a sending stone to make noise. I learned how by looking at Griff's headphone things.
I still don't like going in through the cellar when we have to get to the attic. It seems much easier to get to a higher level from outside.
I mean, do you think you could just do that?
It's certainly possible, yeah. Climb
Shelley
a tree,
can jump.
open a window.
Yeah.
Shelley can jump?
You can jump. You can probably climb. I can improvise.
If someone has rope.
I can carry you while I jump.
Okay, that works.
But-
Be something light.
If there are a lot of owls outside, there's no way we can do that quietly.
I can't jump very quietly.
Yeah. So maybe the cellar is the best way to go if we're trying to be silent.
Around now, you get a tap on the window, and you see a monkey.
Shelley opens the window and says, "Everyone's coming in tonight."
He's got a little note, but he's looking around the room, spots Mistake, and rushes over to Mistake. Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us again this week. This episode was recorded in Watertown, Massachusetts, also known as the traditional land of the Pecosset and Nanantum peoples. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of the talented musicians that helped bring this podcast to life with their amazing music. We've provided a link to their web pages in the description. I would also like to thank our talented players, Tyler Rubin, Amelia Markopoulos, Rin Garnett, Michael Yang, and Nikki Aguilar-Thompson. This story would not be the same without their wonderful creativity. I've been your host and DM, Alex Aguilar-Thompson, and I hope to see you here again next week for another episode of Roleplay Radio.